Let me tell you what happened. There was someone sitting in the dark. Not the romantic kind of dark where candles flicker and music plays soft. No, the ugly dark. The kind where the walls feel like they're breathing, where the silence has weight, where the phone sits face down because there's no one left to call. This person, they weren't dramatic about it. They didn't scream, didn't throw things, didn't post cryptic messages hoping someone would ask if they were okay. They just sat there, hollow, running out of options faster than they were running out of hope. And then they did something they hadn't done in years. They prayed. Not the polished kind. Not the memorized verses and proper posture. This was messy. This was ugly. This was words that didn't even form complete sentences. Just sounds, feelings, desperation leaking out through clenched teeth and wet eyes. They asked for something specific, something that felt so far away, it might as well have been on another planet. They asked with everything they had left, which wasn't much, but it was honest, raw, the kind of prayer that scrapes the bottom of your soul because there's nothing left to hide behind. And then, nothing. The next morning came like every morning before. Gray, heavy, indifferent. The bills didn't disappear. The loneliness didn't lift. The situation didn't magically resolve. Everything stayed exactly the same, as if the universe hadn't heard a single word, as if that prayer had evaporated the moment it left their lips. So this person did what most people do. They got up anyway. They wiped their face. They went through the motions. They convinced themselves it was stupid to ask, stupid to believe, stupid to think that anything out there was listening to someone like them. Weeks passed. Weeks passed. Then months. The prayer faded, became a distant memory. Something that happened in a weak moment that they'd rather forget. They stopped mentioning it, stopped thinking about it, built walls over it so thick that even they couldn't find it anymore. Life kept moving. Not better, just moving forward. Sometimes, sideways, mostly, backward more than they'd admit, but moving nonetheless. And this person, they adapted, the way humans do, the way survivors do. They lowered their expectations, adjusted their definition of okay, learned to live in the gray space between hoping and giving up. They made peace with less. Convinced themselves that maybe they asked for too much, that maybe people like them don't get prayers answered, that maybe faith was just a fancy word for denial, and they were finally growing up, finally seeing the world for what it really was: cold, random, indifferent to individual suffering. And honestly, part of them felt relieved, because expecting nothing means never being disappointed. Wanting nothing means never being denied. They thought they had found freedom in their cynicism, protection in their doubt. But here's what they didn't know. Here's what they couldn't see. That prayer didn't evaporate. It didn't dissolve into nothing. It didn't bounce off some celestial ceiling and fall back to earth unheard. It landed. And the moment it landed, things started shifting. Not in their life, not yet, but around it, beneath it, behind the scenes they couldn't access. In the spaces between seconds, where reality gets rearranged by forces they don't have names for. See, this person thought nothing was happening because nothing was changing, but everything was happening, just not where they could see it. Doors they didn't know existed were being unlocked. People they hadn't met yet were being positioned. Circumstances that seemed random were being arranged with surgical precision. Obstacles that would have destroyed them were being quietly removed from their path before they even reached them. The delay wasn't denial. The silence wasn't rejection. It was preparation. Because what they asked for, it wasn't small. And small answers arrive quickly. Small answers are easy. They require minimal rearrangement, minimal coordination, minimal time. But this person, whether they knew it or not, had asked for something massive, something that would require multiple timelines to sync, multiple people to shift, multiple situations to align, in ways that defy probability. They asked for transformation, not just change. They asked for deliverance, not just relief. They asked for something so profound that giving it to them immediately would have actually destroyed them. They weren't ready. They didn't have the foundation, didn't have the strength, didn't have the wisdom to handle what they were asking for. So the answer was placed on hold, not denied, held, like a package too heavy for the doorstep they had at the time, like an inheritance waiting for the heir to come of age, like a weapon too powerful for hands that hadn't been trained to wield it yet. And while this person went through their days thinking they were forgotten, thinking their words fell on deaf ears, thinking the universe had stamped rejected on their request and filed it away, they were actually being prepared. Every hard day was a lesson. Every rejection was a redirection. Every closed door was protecting them from rooms they had no business being in yet. Every person who left was making space for someone who was coming. Every tear they cried was watering soil they didn't know they'd planted. They thought they were falling apart. They were actually being put together, piece by piece, in an order that only makes sense from above, in a sequence that only becomes clear in hindsight. That breakdown they had last year, that was old programming being deleted. That friendship that ended painfully, that was dead weight being removed. That opportunity that fell through, that was the wrong door being sealed because the right one wasn't open yet. They couldn't see it. How could they? They were inside the process. You can't read the label when you're inside the jar. You can't see the pattern when you're one of the threads. But the whole time, that prayer was being worked on, not ignored. Worked on. Every single day since they whispered those desperate words in the dark. Something was moving. Something was shifting. Something was being built specifically for them, with their measurements, with their needs, with their capacity in mind. And now we get to the part that matters. Because something happened recently. This person noticed it, but they didn't understand it. They felt a shift, but they couldn't name it. Something in the air changed. Something in their circumstances moved. Not dramatically, not with fireworks and announcements. Just a door cracked open that had been sealed. A conversation happened that shouldn't have been possible. A feeling emerged that hadn't been there before. Hope, faint, fragile, suspicious of itself, but there. And this person, being human, being wounded, being trained by disappointment, almost dismissed it, almost wrote it off as coincidence, almost convinced themselves it was nothing because expecting something has only ever led to pain, but it wasn't nothing. It was the first delivery. See, when prayers this big get answered, they don't arrive all at once. That would overwhelm the system. That would short-circuit the receiver. Big answers come in installments, in waves, in pieces that need to be assembled over time. What this person felt, what they noticed, what they almost ignored, that was the first wave making landfall. More are coming. Things are about to start clicking. Connections that seemed impossible are about to form. Resources that seemed unreachable are about to appear. Doors that seemed painted on walls are about to swing open so wide that walking through them will feel like stepping into a different dimension. And this person, the same one who sat in the dark, the same one who prayed ugly prayers through clenched teeth, the same one who forgot they even asked, is about to receive something they stopped believing was possible. Not because they earned it, not because they were perfect, not because they checked all the boxes and impressed somebody upstairs with their performance, because they asked. That's it. If, in a moment of complete desperation, when they had nothing left to offer but their honest need, they opened a door. They initiated a process. They activated something that couldn't be stopped, only delayed until the timing was right. And now the timing is right. That not because the calendar says so, not because some arbitrary cosmic deadline arrived, because they are ready now in ways they weren't ready then. Because the version of them that exists today can handle what the version from back then would have been crushed by. The wait wasn't cruelty, it was mercy. The silence wasn't abandonment, it was incubation. The apparent nothing was actually everything being rearranged in the dark, where they couldn't interfere, couldn't doubt, couldn't self-sabotage. Now let me tell you about the coming weeks. This person is going to experience something strange. Things that used to be hard are going to become easy. Situations that used to drain them are going to resolve without effort. People who used to block them are going to step aside voluntarily. It's going to feel wrong at first. Uncomfortable. Like wearing shoes that fit too well after years of squeezing into sizes too small. They're gonna question it. Wait for the other shoe to drop. Look for the catch, the fine print, the hidden cost. But there isn't one. This is simply what happens when a prayer finally manifests. When years of invisible work suddenly become visible. When the delay ends and the delivery begins. And here's what's going to be hardest for this person to accept. They didn't do anything to deserve this moment. Not in the traditional sense. They didn't pray harder, or believe stronger, or perform better than everyone else. They just survived. They just kept breathing. They just refused to let the darkness have the final word, even when they thought they wanted to. That was enough. That was always enough. The universe doesn't reward perfection. It responds to persistence. It honors those who stay in the arena even when they're losing. It remembers those who whispered prayers in empty rooms when no one was watching, when there was nothing to gain from pretending, when faith was nothing but a fragile thread held between trembling fingers. This person held that thread through everything, through the doubt, through the silence, through the years of nothing happening. Some part of them, maybe just a cell, maybe just an atom, refused to let go completely, and that was enough. Now, I need to tell you something important. I need to stop talking about this person like they're somewhere else, like they're a character in a story. like they're someone you're observing from a safe distance. Because we both know who I've been talking about this whole time. We both know whose prayer I've been describing. We both know who sat in that dark room. We both know who forgot what they asked for. It's you. You prayed that prayer. You gave up on it. You convinced yourself it didn't matter, that no one was listening, that people like you don't get miracles delivered to their doorstep. But you were wrong. That prayer you forgot about, it just got answered. Not past tense answered where you can look back and recognize it clearly. Present tense answered. Right now answered. Unfolding as we speak. Answered. The shift you've been feeling, but couldn't explain. That's it. The strange sense that something is about to happen. That's it. The doors starting to crack open. That's it. The people suddenly appearing in your orbit. That's it. The hope you're afraid to feel because feeling it might mean losing it. That's not false hope. That's your spirit recognizing what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Your prayer was heard. Your prayer was held. Your prayer was worked on in spaces you can't see, by forces you can't name. And now it's here. Watch closely. Watch the next conversation that seems random, but isn't. Watch the next opportunity that appears out of nowhere. Watch the next person who enters your life like they were sent specifically for this moment. Watch how things that used to be stuck suddenly start moving. Watch how obstacles that seemed permanent suddenly dissolve. Watch how your circumstances begin to mirror the words you whispered in the dark when you thought no one was listening. Someone was listening. Something was watching. And everything you asked for is arriving right now. Not all at once. You'd short circuit, but wave by wave, piece by piece, in doses you can handle, in increments that let you adjust, in portions designed specifically for your capacity. Don't dismiss it. Don't explain it away. Don't let your wounded parts convince you it's too good to be true. This is what answered prayers look like. Not lightning bolts and trumpet sounds. Just reality quietly rearranging itself to match what you asked for. Just doors opening that you didn't know were there. Just paths appearing where walls used to be. You forgot about that prayer, but it never forgot about you. And now, right now, while you're listening to these words, while you're feeling that strange recognition in your chest, while you're wondering if this message was somehow meant specifically for you, it's arriving. It's arriving. I'll make it. Receive it. You've waited long enough.
You ever notice how the world is full of people who just don't know when to stop? They push, they prod, they test you. They see how far they can go before you finally break. They think you're weak. They think you'll just take it. Well, let me tell you something. They're wrong. They've been wrong all along. You're not someone they can mess with. But here's the real issue. You're letting them think they can. You've got boundaries, right? I hope you do. But for some reason, you're still letting others cross them. You've been nice. You've been patient. You've let people take advantage of your time, your energy, your patience. But it's time to put an end to that. You need to make them understand. You need to let them know you're not the one to mess with. You see, this world loves to test people. It loves to see how much someone will tolerate before they snap. People will push you, criticize you, take advantage of you, and make you feel like you're invisible. They'll step on you and keep moving, thinking there's no consequence. But you know what? Every time they cross a line, every time they take another inch, they're teaching you a lesson. They're teaching you that you've let it go too far. And guess what? This lesson is about to change everything. Here's the truth. You've been letting them push. You've been letting them chip away at your patience and your will. But now it's your turn. It's time to set boundaries, and not just set them, but enforce them. Boundaries aren't just lines in the sand. They are walls, gates, and fences that protect your peace, your energy, and your time. When you set a boundary, you are telling the world you're done with the games. You're telling them that you've had enough of being walked on. But don't expect them to take you seriously at first. People are used to you being the nice one, the one who gives second chances, the one who overlooks the small slights. They think they can walk all over you because they've never seen you stand your ground. Well, they won't see it coming now. You've been quiet, you've been patient, but the time has come for you to make it clear. Let them know you're not to be messed with. And when you stand firm, when you let them know your boundaries are not negotiable, they'll either respect you or they'll get out of your life. Here's the thing about boundaries. They don't have to be loud. They don't have to be violent. They don't have to be cruel, but they do have to be clear. When you tell someone you've had enough, when you show them that you're serious, there's no room for confusion. It's not about being angry. It's about being strong. People will always try to take advantage of your kindness. They'll always try to see how much they can push you until you break. But when you stand tall, when you set that boundary, you stop that cycle. They can no longer use you as a doormat. They can no longer take from you without consequence. You'll make it clear that you're not someone to be played with, and trust me, they'll get the message. Now, the hard part is this: sticking to those boundaries. The world doesn't like boundaries. It doesn't like rules. It doesn't like people who stand their ground. Because when you set a boundary, you're telling the world that you're in control. You're not here to play by their rules. You're here to play by your own. And when you start setting those boundaries, when you start enforcing them, the world will try to test you. People will try to push against you. They'll try to manipulate you, guilt trip you, and make you feel bad for standing up for yourself. But here's the thing, they're only doing that because they know they can't get what they want unless they break you. They need you to bend. They need you to crumble under the pressure. They need you to let them take your peace and control. But here's the catch. They don't get to decide. You do. You get to decide what is acceptable and what's not. You get to decide how much disrespect you'll tolerate. And when you stand firm, when you don't back down, when you make it clear that your boundaries are non-negotiable, they will have no choice but to respect you. You see, most people never learn this lesson. They spend their whole lives letting others walk all over them. They let people use them. They let people take from them. But you're different. You've learned the hard way that you can't afford to be everyone's doormat. You can't afford to let people walk into your life, take whatever they want, and leave without consequence. You've realized that your time, your energy, and your peace are too valuable to just give away. And the moment you realize that is the moment everything changes. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but what if they get upset? What if they don't like me anymore? What if they leave? And let me tell you this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the people who leave, the people who don't respect your boundaries, were never meant to be in your life anyway. You don't need anyone who can't understand your worth, who can't see that your time is valuable, that your peace is priceless. You don't need people who think they can take from you without giving anything in return. So here's the question. Are you going to keep letting them walk all over you? Are you going to keep letting people disrespect you? Or are you going to rise up, draw that line, and make it clear that you're not to be messed with? Because here's the thing, the world is full of people who will try to take advantage of you. It's full of people who will test you, push you, and see how far they can go. But the real power, the real strength comes from setting those boundaries. It comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and not letting anyone take that from you. It's not about being rude. It's not about being mean. It's about protecting yourself, protecting your peace, your time, your energy. And when you set those boundaries, when you stand firm, people will start to notice. They'll see that you're not the one to be messed with, that you've got your life together, that you've got your back. And they'll respect you for it. But don't make the mistake of thinking that it's always going to be easy. You'll face resistance. You'll face people who don't want to respect your boundaries. They'll push back. They'll try to guilt trip you. They'll try to make you feel bad. But you've got to stand firm. You've got to remember that this is your life, your time, your peace, and no one gets to take that from you without your consent. The moment you set a boundary, you take control. You take back the power that others have been using against you. You stop letting them pull the strings. You stop letting them dictate your life. And when you do that, you'll be unstoppable. You'll be the person they can't break. You'll be the person who stands tall, who doesn't take any crap, who knows exactly what they deserve and doesn't settle for less. So, let me ask you again, are you going to let them mess with you? Are you going to let them walk all over your boundaries? Or are you going to rise up, set those boundaries, and make it clear that you're not to be messed with? The choice is yours. But remember, when you start setting those boundaries, when you start standing up for yourself, you will face resistance. People won't like it. They'll try to break you. They'll try to get you to back down. But the real strength comes in not giving in. The real power comes from standing your ground, from saying, this is who I am, this is what I will tolerate, and this is what I won't. And when you do that, when you stand firm, when you make it clear that you're not to be messed with, you will become a force that cannot be stopped. They will know that you mean business. They will know that your boundaries are not a suggestion. They are a rule. And anyone who doesn't respect that rule will have to go, because you've got bigger things to do. You've got a life to build, a future to create, and you can't afford to let anyone mess with your peace, your time, or your dreams. So, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna let them walk all over you? Or are you gonna rise, set your boundaries, and let them know you're not to be messed with? Because the truth is, while they're busy pushing and testing, you're quietly taking control. You're quietly building your power. And when the time comes, when you finally stand tall, they won't be able to ignore you. They won't be able to deny you, because you'll have earned your place. You'll have earned your success. And the best part, you'll have done it on your terms. So let them rush. Let them test you. Let them try. Because when the time comes, you'll strike with purpose, with power, and with strength. You'll stand firm, and they'll know they've been warned. You're not to be messed with. Not now, not ever. Now let's dive deeper into something that might be uncomfortable to think about, but is absolutely necessary for your growth. You see, most people, they're afraid to set boundaries because they fear the consequences. They fear rejection. They fear that people will walk away. They fear they'll be alone. But here's the hard truth. Being afraid of losing people because you stand up for yourself means that you've given those people too much power over your life. They become a chain around your neck, and you've forgotten that you can cut those chains anytime you want. There's something incredibly powerful about saying no. It's not about being cold or heartless, and it's not about pushing people away. It's about respecting yourself enough to say, this is what I will allow in my life, and this is what I won't. It's that simple. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if they get mad? What if they leave? And you know what I say? Let them. Let them get mad. Let them walk away, because the people who are really meant to be in your life are the ones who understand your boundaries. They're the ones who respect you for having them. And if someone can't respect the simple fact that you're protecting your peace and your energy, then they're not someone you need in your life. You can't build a future on shaky ground. You can't build an empire if you're constantly bending over backwards for people who don't even appreciate you. You can't expect to make real progress if you're constantly dragging along dead weight. The truth is, the people who make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, they're the ones holding you back. And it's not just in relationships. It's in your career, your health, your dreams. You've been too afraid to stand up for yourself, too afraid to say no to things that don't serve you. And the more you let people take, the less you have for yourself. But here's the flip side. When you start standing firm, when you start drawing that line in the sand, people will start to take notice. And it won't be easy at first. People are going to test you. They'll challenge your resolve. They'll try to make you feel bad for putting yourself first. But here's the secret. If they don't respect your boundaries, they don't belong in your life. That's not about being selfish. It's about being self-aware. You cannot give from an empty cup. And when you let others cross your boundaries, you're pouring from a well that's already running dry. And that's the thing about boundaries. They're a form of self-love. It's you saying, I respect myself enough to protect my space. I respect myself enough to protect my time, my energy, and my peace. Because if you don't protect those things, no one else will. If you don't set clear lines, people will take advantage of you. They'll take your time, your kindness, your patience, and then they'll act like it's their right. But that's where you draw the line. That's when you stop being the pushover. And when you stand up for yourself, you teach others how to treat you. Let's talk about your goals for a minute. You've got dreams. Big dreams. You've got things you want to achieve, places you want to go, people you want to help. But you know what? You can't do any of that if you're constantly distracted by other people's needs, other people's demands, other people's drama. When you set boundaries, you are claiming the space and the time to work on your goals. You're saying, I'm not going to let anyone or anything stand in the way of what I'm building. Not anymore. You see, people are constantly pulling at your attention, constantly pulling you in 1,000 different directions. And for what? So they can use your energy, your time, your focus for their benefit. That's not how this works. You've got to get selfish with your time. You've got to start making sure that your energy is being used for what matters. When you let others cross your boundaries, you are letting them steal your future. You are letting them take what is rightfully yours, your potential, your power, your drive. And that stops now. You're going to stop letting them hold you back. You're going to stop letting them dictate how you spend your energy, how you spend your time. You're going to start taking your power back, and you're going to start demanding that people respect you, your time, your energy. But here's the challenge, and I'm being honest with you. It's going to be hard. It's going to feel unnatural at first. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel bad for putting yourself first. You're going to feel like you're letting people down. But here's the reality. If you keep putting other people's needs before your own, you will never achieve your full potential. You'll never reach the heights you're capable of. You'll always be stuck, running around trying to keep everyone else happy, while your dreams remain just that, dreams. Here's the real secret to success. You have to put your boundaries in place, and you have to defend them like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. You can't keep living life like a rubber band, stretching yourself thinner and thinner, trying to make everyone else happy. You need to stand firm, take control, and say, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for. Take it or leave it. And when you do that, the people who respect you will stay. They'll understand. They'll recognize that you are someone who values themselves, who values their time, their energy, their peace. And the people who can't respect that, they'll leave. And that's okay, because you don't need them in your life. They were just distractions pulling you away from your mission, from your purpose, from the life you're meant to build. Now, let's talk about the hard truth. It's easy to draw boundaries in theory, but what happens when it's time to enforce them? What happens when it's time to say no to that phone call, to say no to that invitation, to say no to that request that you know is going to drain your energy and leave you empty? People will try to make you feel guilty. They'll try to make you feel like you're selfish, like you're not being a good friend, partner, or colleague. They'll try to make you doubt yourself. But here's the thing. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. You need to be the one who validates yourself. You need to be the one who stands firm in your choices. When you say no, it's not about being mean. It's about being clear. It's about protecting your space, your energy, your peace. You need to be the one who decides what's worth your time, what's worth your focus. And let me tell you something, your peace is always worth protecting. Your energy is always worth guarding, because if you keep letting people drain you, if you keep letting them take your time, you will have nothing left for yourself. And that's when you lose. It's time to get serious. It's time to get ruthless with your boundaries. You're not here to please everyone. You're not here to make everyone happy. You're here to make yourself proud. And you can't do that if you're always saying yes to things that drain you. You can't do that if you're always running around trying to meet everyone else's expectations.